I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe. Welcome back.
Yeah. Where's Greg at? Screwed up our intro.
Greg really messed us up.
Yeah, Greg said he wanted to go ice road trucking in the snowstorm to take some that little. Let's just talk about that for a second. So Greg's son had a birthday party. Snowstorm comes in, and he needs to take that kid home. Like, that kid must be a hellion.
Right.
Because I'm just like, you're spending another night, dude. Like, I'm not taking you. But anyway, safe travels to Greg in his travels in the snow that we've got and the ice that we've got here in Missouri. Let's share a little picture that's going to cover up Caleb's face real fast.
Yes.
This was last night, 200 car pileup just north of where Caleb and I live, on a road that we traveled when Holly was in town a few weeks ago. It's just not good to be outside, but we have internet still and power. So we thought we might as well have a podcast. So how was everybody's week?
It was good.
Was it? When do you go back to work?
Tomorrow.
Boo.
Oddly enough, I feel like I'm ready to go back. And I'm ready to see what this year has for me. Because I feel like it's going to be a lot. But I'm here for it. I'm ready.
A lot good
or a lot or bad?
Or both? I don't know yet. Not really sure. I'm hoping it's going to be good. But, I mean, the way it ended, I feel like it can't get any worse.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like hardcore. We were crunch time and busy, and it was out of control. So I feel like we shouldn't be that busy. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we got some cool adventures, though, for next year. Well, actually, this year, 2025, which is going to take me a month to remember to write it down, right? Yeah. But we got the Big 12 basketball championships coming up. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've got our annual get-together in Vegas that will be here before we know it, which, you know what? We ought to start deciding what weekend we're going to do that on.
Yes, we do need to start that.
But I did see something, and I don't know if you know this or not, Ollie, and this is probably old news, but the Mirage in Vegas is closed.
Yeah.
Like permanently closed. So we won't be watching basketball games at the Mirage this year like we did last year.
No, I know that sucks. But I feel like I heard somewhere that it's going to be like a Hard Rock now. Like they're transitioning it into a different hotel, but they're redoing the front of it. I want to say it's the Hard Rock. One of the Hard Rock hotels is going to go there. But I mean, don't quote me on that, but I feel like I've seen it many times to even think that.
Because it's where the Tropicana, where they tore it down, that's where the new baseball stadium is going, I think. But I didn't know what was going with the Mirage. But I was talking to Caleb about, hey, do you remember the Mirage? And he said, yeah, kind of. I said, well, it's where we were at when I realized I left my credit card at Treasure Island and we had to go back.
Yeah, I'd walk back.
So
the Mirage on the Las Vegas Strip is being demolished to make way for Hard Rock Hotel and Casino and Guitar Hotel.
Huh. So that means they're going to close the other Hard Rock that's in Vegas?
I'm not sure.
You know, that hotel is a little odd because it's off the Strip. The casino is super small, and I think it was more of like a party destination than it was like a gambling destination. So I wonder if they realize that they've missed out on some money opportunity. You know, they're doing it all because of money. So
well, yeah, and it's not set to open until 2027. So
see, I assumed it'd at least be 26, but I didn't realize it was going to be 2 more years. So
I'm not even sure that they've even demolished it or demoed it yet, right? Like I don't
know. I think it's only been closed for like a month, if I remember what I read the other day.
17th is when they closed it permanently.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So we didn't even know that we were going to be one of the last guests there when we were there last time. So
we're special.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of one of those deals where some of the old time ones are getting tore down. I wonder if that means something like Treasure Island, or I don't know what else. What do you think the next one will be that'll close down? Is Circus Circus still a thing? Because that thing is old.
It is. You know what? And it has the worst smell. Like, I've heard of people, I haven't stayed there since I was really, really little. But we go there because they have like $3 tables for blackjack. And
Yeah.
so we've gone there many times. Not recently though, but the last time I was in there, it stunk. Like, it was like,
It smells like a barn.
yeah, it wasn't even like just this, how most casinos are like cigarette smell along with their fragrance that they're putting in the air.
Yeah.
It did not even smell like that. Like, it was
No.
just terrible. But I have had friends who have stayed or booked a room there, went and got in there and were like, we're out. They couldn't get a refund, but it was so bad, like bed bug bad. So yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be on the short list of demo opportunities and land grabs, but it's also not in the greatest spot because it's in between the Stratosphere and the rest of the Strip, and it's kind of out there by itself. So I don't know how. I kind of thought that would be a good place to put the new baseball stadium.
If you're going to try to walk there, it is far. It's far. Like, even from there to the Stratosphere is far.
Yes.
Doesn't look that far, but oh my God, I've
Well,
walked.
the buildings are so big that it just like, oh, it's just right there. And then it's like 5 or 6 city blocks or like 2 or 3 miles or yeah. I walked from the Luxor to the Stratosphere once. And that's when I decided that I would start taking cabs everywhere or Ubers, because that's just too far. Like, by the time you get there, and I'm old, then it was just not fun. So
yeah, I do have to admit, I'm super excited that, we're part of the Big 12. We're going to Missouri for the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
But it makes me a little sad that it's no longer in Vegas, because the Top 12 tournament was always in Vegas and at the T-Mobile Stadium, actually. And it was just, the atmosphere was amazing because it's not very far from, Phoenix or Tucson. So we had a lot of Arizona fans there. And I know in Missouri, it's not going to be like that.
No, I'm sure there'll be some diehards there, but I can't imagine you're going to travel as well as you would have to Vegas.
Yeah, my parents are so excited to go.
But just to meet us, right?
Well, of course. Well, and that's like the truth. My mom is so excited because she just doesn't really understand. Like, how did you meet them? They're your internet friends that turned real friends. Like, it's just, she just can't process that, because back in her day, they didn't make friends on the internet. That was, no.
Yeah.
So
it is funny though, because people say that all the time. It's like, my friend in Arizona is like, how do you have friends in Arizona? Like, we met online. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. But do you guys like actually know each other? Yeah, we've met up several times in real life. Right. How's that work out? You try to explain it, it doesn't make any sense, but you just have to be there for the journey. But because I'll tell you, my wife and I still talk about the last trip that you made to Missouri. It was so much fun. Like, next time you come, I mean, obviously there'll be basketball involved, but that just hanging out all day on Saturday in the basement and playing games, like, that's going to be the majority of the next time you come to Missouri. Like, 100%. We may just do that on Friday night too. It was so much fun.
Yeah. No, and like I said earlier to you guys, my mom called me specifically to make sure that you guys are okay because of the weather. Like, she saw it on the news and was like, Holly, are the bros okay over there? And I'm like, yes, Mom.
Yeah,
they're cold, but they're okay. Nobody's driving except Greg.
Yeah, except Greg. But, it's Greg, so he'll be fine. But Mama Holly, we are good to go. So can't wait to see you in a few months. And then we are going to make it a top priority in 2025. Caleb feels like he's short. Well, I noticed that too.
I'm like the tall one.
Yeah.
I can't sit up any taller.
Yeah, Meg is like, did Holly make you guys adjust your cameras and make her look taller?
No, I adjusted mine so you guys can see my awesome shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a Merry Christmas present. Yes. So speaking of that, how was everybody's Christmas since we didn't have a podcast last week?
Oh, mine was just amazing.
I saw a video. It looked awesome.
Mm-hmm. We all get together, my entire family. And so it doesn't seem like a lot till we're all together. And so we played games. I played not that one. Oh, Screw Your Neighbor.
Screw Your Neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah, I made Screw Your Neighbor.
Did they like it?
Loved it. But I have a new game for us when we go. It's called Left, Right, Center.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we play that too.
Yeah,
we
play
just
it a
didn't
lot.
have the dice.
Yes, that one. We played that one, and even it's so easy. The kids can play, and they were so excited. And it's funny, Mally lost her money early on, like super early on, right? And so if you lose your money, you're not technically out because the person beside you can roll either left or right wherever you are.
Mhm.
So she was out of money almost the entire game. Like she ended up getting $1 and got to roll, won it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $60 because there were so many of us. Yeah,
That's
it was
fun. That's
really
fun.
fun.
Yeah, it costs $3 a person, and then
Yeah.
it depends on how many people you have. But like my sister's 8th grader, is he in 8th grade, Caleb?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wyatt. So
He won a couple times doing that.
yeah, so he ended up winning like $80 because he won like 3 games in a row. But I like games like that where it's not one of those deals where you have to really strategize. It's just fun, and you can have conversation, and you're not, because I'm pretty competitive. So if there's strategy involved, then I don't say a whole lot. Like I'm thinking about strategy. So I like those sort of games. Yeah, Matt has a set of dice for that, but
Yeah.
we didn't have it when you guys came down. But we'll have it next time for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna because I'm gonna go on Amazon and get that game. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just me and Mike D here, so we're not gonna play this game.
No, that doesn't really work for 2 people.
Doesn't really work for 2 people.
You're going to need at least 3, I guess. But still, the more you have in that game, the better
The
it
more
is.
intense it gets,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
your nerves are just like, come on, please don't roll. Yeah, it's just the funnest game. So, but being with my family was just so much fun. So
That's
I can't.
awesome.
There's not one thing I can complain about. I
Good.
got like cool gifts. So,
What was your favorite gift?
oh crap, that's a hard one. I'm gonna have to just say it's my perfume. Every year for my birthday and for Christmas, my dad gets me a new bottle of perfume. And the coolest part is he picks it out himself. He doesn't get my opinion. He doesn't get my mom's. He does it. And so those are just my favorite because my dad doesn't. He's not a shopper. As as we said last time, I had to go shopping with him. But he's such a great shopper and gets just everything is always spot on. So I would have to say every year it is my bottle of perfume. I just look forward to it.
What about you, Caleb?
That since I was probably a sophomore in high school. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Caleb, what about you?
I don't know. I just enjoy hanging out with family.
Yeah, Caleb and I aren't necessarily the biggest present givers, or we don't receive them very well. But kind of on to piggyback on what you said, Holly, my mom used to every year buy me a pair of slippers. That was just like, if I didn't get slippers, my Christmas was ruined. And so my wife has picked up on that tradition now. And so that's usually my favorite. But I will say there's this one dude that bought me a Larry Bird Christmas ornament.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that ranks right up there with the slippers this year. So thanks to Caleb for that. I appreciate it. So couple things. Let's talk about some really, really important things that happened over the last week. Holly, how did your fantasy football turn out this year?
You know what? I got second. However, I can't really complain about it. And the reason I can't complain is because at the end of the season, towards the end, my team wasn't doing great. So just to make I think I was 8-6.
Let's see.
Ghost
8-7, Holly. You were 8-7.
8-7. But then you have Trucker and Ghost that were like 11-3. Or they were way better. So the fact that I was able to beat
or me, who was 10-5.
Yeah, I hadn't beat Ghost all season.
Yep.
And so the fact that I was able to beat him was awesome. And I'm okay with losing to you because it's you. Although I don't think I'll ever live it down.
No, that was the rubber match. I'm 2-1 against you this year.
I know. But and then like the surprise of the whole thing was I got 25% of the overall winnings. So I didn't think I was going to get anything. I thought it was winner takes all. So when you told us that, I was like, haha, you're not getting it all.
So yeah, let's talk about that real fast though, because and it may just be our faults, right? Because we don't really do Telegram, and most of this league was the communication was on Telegram.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so I checked it like week 3, but I took a nap. I know you guys can't really believe that I would be taking a nap when we didn't do the podcast last week, and I woke up to a text from Trucker, and it said, "Hey, I just wanted to talk to you because it looks like you're going to win. Are you cool with it being like a 65-25-15 split?"
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like, I would rather see more people win. You don't want to pay like the top 5 so nobody really wins anything. But yeah, that ended up being a deal where I still, because it was a B&B buy-in, and that was what, August. And so it had the total buy-in was $1,000. And then it ended up being worth almost $1,300 by the end of the league. So I still almost made $1,000, not quite, but it was still enough. I was like, yeah, for sure, let's do that. And then the guy that pretty much dominated fantasy football the entire year got 4th.
That I had a feeling that was going to happen.
I did too.
His players, and then where the teams kind of stood. They didn't have to really play that hard. And
I knew if I made it to the Super Bowl that I had or made it to the playoffs, that based on the schedule of the teams that my guys were playing, that I would have a really good chance. And so when I clinched a playoff spot, I thought, I think I have a pretty good shot. And I scored 161 in the finals, but the week before, I think it was like 180. I don't think anybody would have beat me in either round.
No,
so,
I don't think that, even if all my players did magnificent, I don't think that I still would have beat you. I did have a couple players that didn't score great, and then I had a couple that scored really good. But even if they all scored that, I just don't see it beating you at all. So,
well, my quarterback's best 2 weeks of the year were in the semifinals and the finals. And Jonathan Taylor just went off in the last 2 weeks.
He did.
And Jamar Chase was on a tear.
Yeah,
and
I still go at Mike D for giving you Chase, for trading you for him.
You have to admit, though, like the highest scoring team over the last 6 weeks was Mike D's team. And not the majority, but a lot of the guys that were putting those points on the board were the people that I traded for Jamar Chase, because I gave him, I think, 4 guys for the one, and they were all starters. They weren't like scrubs.
Yeah.
I can't remember who they all were. I know Najee Harris was one of them. I think McLaren from Washington was one of them, who ended up being a stud in the second half of the season. But I don't know. I just know I sleep better at night knowing that I am 2-1 against the fantasy football queen, and that I have bragging rights for a few months. And I'll try not to talk too much trash, because I know if I do, that I will get annihilated next year. And so it was a lot of fun. My only suggestion, Trucker, is if you're listening or watching, is do it on a different app.
Yes, please.
I hate the NFL.com fantasy football app.
Good. Yahoo's good.
Yeah, pick anything besides that, and I'll be happy. But I'm still happy.
We'll make sure. Yeah, I actually took half of my winnings and I put it into Interlink. And I'm just chilling with my Interlink. So
I haven't done anything with my winnings yet. And because we did think it was a winner take all, we had a game plan of what we were going to do once we knew it was Holly and I against each other.
Yes.
But then it didn't become winner take all. So I'm going to think on it this week and decide what I'm going to do with some of our winnings. But some of it's going to definitely go back into the community, and we'll see what that looks like. It's funny. Greg's not here, so I'm going to harp on him a little bit. It's funny that once I won money, Greg started sending me some text messages about, hey, we have this bill coming up and this bill coming up, and we have to pay for this domain name, and we have to pay for this email thing. And I'm like, Okay, Greg, taking my fantasy football winnings, but we'll get it all sorted out in the long run for sure. But congratulations, you had a really good season. I was happy to defeat you, but it's
Josh.
all in fun.
Yeah, it was. I miss it today. It's been like, well, damn, I don't have to look at my fantasy football and trade players out and all that. Like, it's so sad.
I was thinking the same thing because I'm sitting there watching these scrubs play for like Chicago and I think Green Bay and the Patriots and the Bills, and I'm like, this sucks, but it's still better than in about 5 weeks whenever we don't have any football for 8 months.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
but-
but mine turns into basketball. The time that really sucks is like the end of March until football. That is the worst. And I've tried to get into that.
Baseball?
No.
Okay, so
Football league, whatever that I've tried. And
yeah.
I cannot. I don't know if
No.
because it's like, this isn't real. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. I
Yeah.
can't get into it. And so it's just not the same for me. So yeah, there's a time period that sucks. But on the basketball side, we just beat number 16 Cincinnati. U of A did yesterday. Like, they did really well. So
I watched a little bit of it. I didn't know who ended up winning.
yeah, so we're 2-0 in the division in the Big 12 right now.
That's good.
And so I'm like, we may actually be contenders when we go for the tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a little bit nervous about how we're going to perform, but I think we'll be okay.
Did LeBron James' son sign with
Yes, he did.
Arizona? Okay.
Mhm. You know, and
I'm sorry.
I'm not thrilled. And the reason why is because just like his brother Bronny, he's just going to be one and done.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you bring all this like hype and all this stuff to our school, but then you're done after a year. And I'm just like, it's just another player that is probably not as good as I don't think he's going to be as like good enough to be a one and done, but because of who his dad is, he will be.
Yeah.
You mean like Bronny, who went and got drafted in the first round and has played in a handful of NBA games and is struggling in the G League right now?
Yep.
He got drafted because of who his dad was. Yeah, I'm with you. It's hard to build a team too. You know, as a basketball coach, it's hard to build a team when a kid's only going to be there for one season.
It is.
And then the camaraderie and the family atmosphere of it. Because a kid, and now especially in college where they're already making so much money.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I saw that Archie Manning is going to make $7 million next year, $7.5 million for the Texans or Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much his coach makes, but he's got to be rivaling how much he
Yeah.
makes. So
Yeah.
Personally, I think that he is going to be one and done for the sole reason that he's going to want to play with his dad. And so, because if you think about it, LeBron only has one, maybe 2 more years in him, like
Yeah.
maybe. And if he does, go to school next year and then 1 more year, he'll get at least 1 year with his dad to
Mhm.
play in the NBA, whether they're on the same team, I don't know, and his brother. So,
yeah,
and I just, that's how it's going to go. Like, it's going to be, oh my gosh, there's an old man with his 2 sons playing in the NBA.
yeah. And
What do you think about LeBron breaking Jordan's record of 30-point games?
Honestly, I am surprised it took this long to beat the record.
Yeah, almost 500. Yeah,
Seven more
almost
year, or seven
500 more games, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
something like that.
400 and some odd more games. Yeah,
Yeah.
that argument is stupid to me, especially on X. I refuse to get into it because,
Well, and it's different times now.
yeah,
I feel like the way that they play now is more big babyish than when they
Yeah.
played back in the day. It was rough and it was hard.
was.
And I know, Michael Jordan was kind of a baby too, but he was damn good. And I think the competition was bigger back then than it is now. Now it's just all about money. So
well, the game has just changed so much too, because even in Jordan's day, it wasn't one-on-one with 4 guys standing around. It's
Mhm.
pretty much one-on-one, and then who can shoot a 3?
Yep.
Because if you're scoring buckets in transition or 3-point line, I've seen so many highlights of why is the NBA's ratings down? And they show like 2 minutes where it's just fast break 3-point shooting and everybody's missing it, making
Right.
bad passes. And it's like, hey, I can't watch that.
That's how I am. Like if I do watch NBA, it's at the very end of the season where it's the playoffs, or maybe I don't even catch all the playoff games. I
Yeah.
catch the very last one just to
Yeah.
see what happens. But
I just look at ESPN once in a while and see what I've missed and just be like, oh, okay, these are the teams that are in it. So be it. I couldn't even name you the majority of the starters on the teams nowadays. So,
Yeah.
but speaking of basketball, the pink shoelaces strike again.
yes.
Yes.
So since you guys pranked me with the pink shoelaces, we are 1-6
6.
or
Yeah.
6-1. Sorry.
Oh, I
You won
was like,
6.
No.
You won 6 in a row. You lost the first game with the pink ones,
And then won 6 in a
that
row.
is amazing. See, they just needed to break in a little bit.
A little
the
bit.
last game he won, or last game they won, was against a ranked team.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
the number
wow.
12 ranked team in the state.
Oh crap!
So to win the championship of the holiday tournament. So, everybody kept asking me like, how you going to do tonight? And I was like, we're going to give it our best shot. Like I got some ideas and see how we execute. I even overheard my best player, somebody in the crowd's like, hey, how you going to do tonight? And she was like, yeah, but honestly,
they're little, but they're freaking feisty and mighty. And
they
then
are feisty.
they play hard for
Yes, they do.
how little they are. And that makes me so happy. The little one in the glasses, how is she doing? She's my favorite.
Oh, I will text you a still photo of one of her rebounds in the championship game. She is, I don't know, is she 5 foot tall, 5'1"?
I don't even know if she's taller than I am.
She is jumped higher than anyone else and has the ball in her hands, bringing it down. I'll have to send you. I got to find that on Facebook. I'll send you that picture because it could be your screensaver on your phone or something.
The cutest little thing. I just love her and her big old glasses. Love them.
Always get knocked off of her head.
Yeah.
She had 7 rebounds in the championship game.
And she's tiny.
She fights hard.
Tiny.
She's tough. Yeah.
The coolest thing about all of that, though, was that holiday tournament 4 years ago was started, and it was in memory and in honor of my father, and it's named after him. And since that's happened, we've won it 3 times, and I think I have a record of 11-1 in that tournament. So it's been pretty cool. And we were the 2 seed. But it was really the number 1 seed and then like 3 or 4 teams fighting for second.
Yeah.
And then I don't think anybody else would have given them the run that we gave them in that championship game. It was a really good basketball game. And we were pretty much in control of it the entire time. So you have a bunch of little feisty girls that have a little bit of a mean streak to them that took it to these girls because they had 3 players that at least 2 players that are probably vying for all state honors. So it was, it was a good game. And so a little funny story for anybody that knows anything about sports. So they're wearing their warm-up shirts when they were shooting. And of course, when basketball teams start the game, you flip the side of the court. So I'm on the end of the court with the other team. And they all have 40 on their sleeve. And so I asked the girl, I said, can I ask you a question? And she said, sure. I said, why do you guys all have the same number on your sleeve? Is that like in memory of, or is it in dedication of some player? Like, because unfortunately, even at the high school level, tragedies happen, and she goes, no. She goes, our coach, he says in girls basketball, the first team to 40 wins. And I was like, well, that's pretty true. And so that's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah.
Guess what the final score of the game was?
Stop.
40-33.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
So anyways, I just thought it was kind of funny, but no, they played really hard and it was nice to come back and beat a team like that. And now all the other coaches in the area have sending me text messages, and online we have this film sharing platform and they're all wanting to film to the game. And it's kind of funny, but yeah, last year, unfortunately, we were in a growing year when we knew there was going to be some bumps and bruises, and we were 8-17. And this year we have already tied last year's wins, and we still have 2 months to go. So we're 8-3. And besides the 7 girls that are on my team, I don't think anybody else really thought we would be that good. So including this guy, but
I know he was like, no, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I was
the
like,
ball has bounced our way a couple times. So it's been nice.
But you have to give yourself credit, because how they started and how they are now is a huge indicator of how you coach.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, I don't ever really look at it as like what I do, but somebody said something after the championship game that kind of resonated. He said, Coach, I think in the 7 years you've been here, you're doing more with less this year than you ever have. And I was like, maybe, but I think part of that too is that with the group of girls I have, it is easier for me to try some things outside the box that I normally wouldn't have done because it could have made games like get out of hand on the wrong team. And this year we can try some of those things, and it's actually been very successful. So,
But it's not because of the numbers, because you don't have a lot of girls. It's just who the girls are.
agreed. Like that combination of girls is like a team. Like they will fight you for the other one.
But you had one that didn't even know how to dribble.
Sure.
And look at how she's doing now. Like that.
Sure.
It reflects a lot on how you coach.
Well, those type of kids, though, I will tell you that if you get one that doesn't know anything about the game and then comes in, they pay attention, they work hard, you can see the improvement almost like daily. You know.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I don't know how to take praise well, so I'll just say thank you.
I'm like, it's common sense, Josh. Like girls just didn't teach themselves how to do this.
It's true. It's true. But I'm looking forward to this. Is probably the most fun group that I've coached ever. And it's just because they like to jack around a little bit, especially in practice. But when it comes game time, we get in between those lines. Those girls get after it. So, it'll be interesting to see where we end up and how everything turns out for sure.
Well, at the end of that championship game, he had 2 girls foul out. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we had the one girl that's never played basketball before. And no, she didn't.
No, she had to come in.
She had to come in.
Oh.
And then the other girl that looks like she's scared to death all the time, she had to too. And it was a 5-point game. And they were going to full court pressure us because, I would too. So the other number 3, I just told her, I said, hey, if they score this free throw, just get the ball inbounds really, really fast. We're not going to set up a press break because we can't. And so she did. She hit it to number 2, and number 2 passed it back to her, and they fouled her, and she made her both free throws, and we won by 7. So, anyways, it was good times. It was good times for sure. But, Holly, are you doing a segment today?
No.
Okay, well, let's get into Caleb's questions because I am super interested in seeing what you guys have to say.
Oh.
Fair?
Huh. Okay.
It's time for Caleb's Choice.
His choice.
His rules.
All right, first one.
First one. Have you watched Squid Game season 2?
Not yet, but it is on our list. We tried to watch it, I feel like 2 weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, actually. Yeah. And I just couldn't get into it. However, Mally did say the very first episode is very boring. But from the second episode on, it's binge-worthy good. So
I would wait though, because season 3 comes out in June.
Yeah.
Season 2 ends in a weird spot. I would wait and just watch season 2 to season 3.
Okay.
I mean, it's good, but it does start off slow. But they filmed season 2 and 3 together, but season 3 doesn't come out until June, I think.
So I haven't seen season 1 yet.
Oh, I watched season 1, and surprisingly, I was able to get over the subtitles and all that because I'm not a subtitle. I'm not a big fan of that. But this one, I remember being like, I don't care. This is insane. And so I watched it all. But
they say it's based off of something that happened in 1966, I think, in Korea. Like some rich people were doing stuff like this.
Oh my god!
I don't know if it's to that extent, but that's what they got the idea.
Mr. Beast, if I recall right, didn't he do a Squid Game? But it was for money. It wasn't for.
It wasn't for death.
Yeah, it wasn't for death. No,
not this episode. Not this season, anyways. But
yeah, I think Mr. Beast did that, and I think I think I saw just not too long ago that he said, "Should I do another one?" And I'm like, "Can I be on this? Because I feel like I know what to do."
That would be awesome. He also just got married or engaged too. I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really know that much about him. It just
I
showed up
know
on X.
really nothing about him other than like he gives away stuff.
Yeah.
But
Have
he's
you
a
guys
YouTuber,
seen it?
I think, right? And they're expecting him to be the very first YouTuber to earn $1 billion.
That doesn't surprise me.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, well, some of the sets that he's been putting out there, I saw a couple like behind the scenes. Like, there's millions of dollars invested in just the sets of some of these things that he's putting out there. So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you guys found anything new on Netflix or streaming services? Any new movies? You've
yeah,
watched?
there it goes right into question number 2.
There you go.
Have you watched any? I'm thinking because I have. I feel like there's been several shows. Movies, I have a hard time with movies ever since COVID happened. And I think it's because you were able to binge watch everything, like all
Yeah.
episodes of stuff during
Yeah.
COVID. And so movies just are 2 hours long with no break. Whereas the shows, you can watch, a show that's 45 minutes or an hour and then have a break and come back to it when you want.
Yeah.
So
No,
movies, I haven't, but I did hear that Moana Part 2 is really good.
oh, really? I haven't seen
I
it.
haven't even seen Part 1.
Me either.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, I
Is it a
heard
cartoon?
adults.
It is this one. The
But
next one's gonna
adults were
be
saying it was.
yeah. The next one's supposed to be live action.
Oh,
Hmm.
you're right.
Yeah, they're filming that.
So Caleb made a recommendation of a movie that I watched on Netflix that was really good called Carry On with
Yeah.
Jason Bateman
We
and
watched that
yeah.
where he tries to get him a bomb on a plane, and
Yeah.
we watched that. Yes,
Yeah.
Mike D is thumbs downing it, but
Well-
Oh,
it was pretty good.
So I thought the whole thing about the whole storyline. First out, shout out to Mike
My
D.
name's Mike D, and I'm about to get money.
The storyline itself was actually really good, I thought. And the only part at the end where he throws the most highly
yeah.
like contagious
Yeah,
virus ever and breaks it on the ground and then shuts the door. I'm like, dude, I think you're dead too. Like
Yeah.
everybody on that plane
Everyone
just died.
that is
Yeah.
true.
But it
Yeah.
was a vacuum sealed refrigerating unit that he threw him in. So I don't know. It was still really good. Spoiler alert, I guess I should have said that.
Oh, well.
In case
Oh,
people
yeah.
haven't seen it.
I feel like there's been documentaries that have been really, really good, and I can't think because I am all about documentaries. I love them. What is it?
Kings of Tupelo.
Kings of Tupelo, and I told you guys about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I need to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Watch it. It is insane. It's the insane ones that I really like that are like almost too unbelievable. Like it's Florida Man. Like that's
Oh,
how.
I haven't watched that yet either.
Oh my god, that is the craziest freaking show. I still
also-
can't get over it. Like I feel like I need to watch it again.
So last night, the snow and the ice and everything started coming in, and my wife is taking care of her parents. So I was just a bachelor with the dog last night. So I actually watched 2 movies,
Yeah.
and both of them were actually really good in their own way. One of them is called Gerald's Game. Have you guys seen that?
It's older.
It's older.
Yes,
it's not
that's-
new.
Mike said, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I don't really want to give any spoilers away on that movie, but the way that ended and to find out that some of the things that she went through weren't hallucinations, that was a really good movie. And then also, have you guys seen the I think it's called Subservient with Megan Fox, where she's like a robot and she's a robot nanny that's helping take care of this guy because his wife is sick.
Not
Like,
yet. I
So
still
I thought it seems
watch that one.
well. I
So
thought
it's
it
like the
seems,
Megan movie, but an adult robot.
I haven't seen Megan yet, but I'm guessing.
Mhm.
But it was like, you know how sometimes when you watch a movie, like Netflix is going to start a new movie.
Yeah.
It was the next one, so I just let it play. Man, I'm telling you what, with all the things that we see on, like with AI and these robots and things like that, I think I don't know, it just felt a little bit more real. So if
Really?
you get time, you should watch it. It's not bad at all. It's
Watch it.
it's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I am famous for watching a preview on Netflix
Mhm.
and then thinking, oh, that's going to be really good. And then watch it and I have to turn it off 30 minutes into it because it sucks so bad.
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Meg just said I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It was so bad. Serbian.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I actually liked it. And I think the reason I liked it was just because of how real that could be over the next 3 or 4 years, maybe later, longer than that. But I just thought that it was, so the acting isn't great. I think anytime you get a Megan Fox movie, it's probably not going to be the best acting you've ever seen. But I like the story behind it.
gotcha.
But there is a scene in the other one, Gerald's Game, that I think, so I'm not squeamish at all, but there's a scene in that one where I turned away because I didn't want to watch it anymore.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so just check it out if you want to. It was just kind of one of those deals. But anyways, I felt like a winner last night because I actually found a couple of movies I didn't turn off after 20 minutes.
There you go.
Oh, this is a good question.
Oh, yeah. What NFL team does not have an alternate jersey? I can't talk.
So all these alternate jerseys that are out there now with the different helmets and different jerseys, and which team in the NFL does not? I think they're the only ones that don't.
Detroit?
No.
The Chiefs?
Kansas City. They're the only
The
ones that
honorable
don't have an
deal.
alternate.
Well, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen.
Mm-mm.
The owner won't change it.
They got the the red shirts with the white bottoms, and they do have a red on red or a white on white, but they have not had an alternate jersey ever.
That's crazy.
I think the only thing they've changed sometimes is the stripe on the shoulder might be a little thicker, but that's the only thing they've done.
Yeah, but they didn't go into the futuristic type stuff like,
No.
things like that. So, well, Caleb's got an extra question based on football.
Who do you have going to the Super Bowl this year?
Playoffs start next week. Who do you think is going to the Super Bowl, Holly? Niners? Rams?
The Niners.
Rams Chiefs?
If it, that
Maybe.
would be insanity if it was the Niners and the Chiefs, or the Rams and the Chiefs.
Rams, yeah.
Insane. But I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Let's do this. Who's winning the NFC? Because I think that's the one that's up in the air. For real, like, I think there's only 2 teams that can win the AFC. But who's winning the NFC? Because the Packers aren't dominant. The Eagles are very talented, but their
Big
coach makes
time.
dumb decisions. The Lions are hurt.
Yeah, their defense is trash. Right
The
now.
Rams came on super hot at the end of the season. Unless I'm forgetting about somebody else, I'm thinking that those are got to be the top contenders of that, because you're going to either have the Bucks or the Falcons, and both of those teams are going to screw it up. So I don't know.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I would like the Rams to make it.
No,
I-
you
I
know,
would-
no, the
if I'm-
thing is they've been really, like, the last few games just scoring very, very low. And I mean, like, field goals, not touchdowns. So I don't know. I don't know. It's
I'd
I
put-
don't like to predict the Rams because I feel like I jinx them. So I don't like to
So you're
say.
going Eagles?
I mean,
So if I put money on it, I'd probably put the Eagles.
right, I guess, with the Eagles.
Well, it's funny because the Chiefs played the Niners, and then they played. Was it who they play after that in the Super Bowl? Was it the Eagles? No, it was the Eagles Niners.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I guess it
And also
was
Tampa.
Niners. Yeah, then Tampa, and
I
then
think so.
beat the Eagles and beat the Niners, or vice versa. So another rematch for the Eagles, I think, would be pretty cool. I think it would be a different type of ball game, but the Chiefs are also getting healthy. Like, they just got their second best D-back back from injury when he broke his leg in October,
Mhm.
and they've got everybody but Rashid Rice back on offense. I think they're going to be dangerous. I'm going to go Eagles Chiefs. Are you guys going to make official predictions so I can make fun of you when you're wrong?
No,
Oh, well, what the hell?
No, not at all.
no,
Caleb, are you ready for
no. I have
Holly's-
a question.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. Are you ready for Holly's question? Because this is
This
probably
is
going to
gonna
break
be-
our brains.
It is, because it's a hard one. Would you rather lose all your current memories or not be able to create new memories?
I want to keep my current memories.
Me
To
too.
not create new ones.
That's kind of, I feel like now that I'm older, I've made enough memories that I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
okay with, because I mean, I think about like my memories of having my daughter. I couldn't imagine not having those memories and all of
Or your
you know,
parents.
my
or, yeah.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
couldn't imagine that. So,
Especially with our parents being passed now, I don't
yeah.
want to forget that. And I think if I was 10, that question would be answered exactly the opposite. But
True.
50 years of memories, I earned a lot of those. So
Yeah.
not that I remember everything that happened in the last 50 years, but I do think that that's a good question, though.
Mhm.
We can't. Yeah, I think Rudy hit it. Current ones, we can't replace memories with our parents, grandparents,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's probably depends on where you're at in your life too. Like if your parents are still alive, or your kids still live in the home.
Right.
I'm just an old geezer, so at some point I want to keep the old ones, and I'll have fun in the moment, but I just won't remember it.
There you go.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm feel rusty because I have forgotten what buttons to push and to
No,
make
wait a minute.
things
I think we
work.
only skipped a week, didn't we?
I know, but I haven't done
Really?
jack in that week except one basketball
It
games.
felt so long.
It really
Yeah.
does.
It was so bad I couldn't remember what time our podcast was.
That
Yeah,
is
no,
true.
you
You
texted-
texted us and said, "Hey, what time is the podcast?"
Yeah,
And
well,
I-
I blame Mike D because he was like, "What time?" It's like in an hour, and I looked, and it was like an hour was 12. I'm like, "No, I don't think so. I think it's at 1. What time is it over there?" It was a wreck. So I
Well,
was like, I'm just gonna ask the bros because
Yeah.
I could not remember if it was 12 or 1 o'clock my time.
the stupid daylight savings time thing does not help us because you don't observe it and we do. So
Right.
we are 2 hours apart, and then we are an hour, and right now we are
An hour.
one hour. Yeah, but in April
yes.
we'll be 2 hours again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so dumb. I'm over it. We just need to be done with daylight savings time. Turn the sun back on, make our days longer, and then just stop doing it.
Agreed.
I don't know.
What do you guys think about all this fog, this mystery fog? Since Greg's not here.
No, there's so much like craziness going around in our world. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know. I mean, when you start to like put common sense together with a lot of the things that have been happening, it's like there's no way it could happen the way you're trying to tell me it did.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm having a hard time with all of this because I don't believe what we're being told.
Well, I will
About
also
any of this stuff, the drones, the fog, the bomb, I mean,
Yeah. That's
stop
fair
it.
as well. Yeah.
stop it.
So one of the things too, though, that we all read everything, we all hear everything, and some things it gets more of my attention than other things. But so a friend of the show, one of our in real life friends, Dragon,
Mhm.
was telling me a story, and this was like right before Christmas. He said, "Yeah, it was maybe the Sunday before Christmas." He said because he works a night shift, and he said, "So I was sleeping." And then I wake up and I'm making some food, and all of a sudden my dog goes crazy. And he goes, I look outside and there's just weird fog everywhere. He goes, I've never seen anything like it before. And then he goes, and then all of a sudden I see people are in the fog. And he goes, it weirds me out. So I opened the door basically to yell at them and figured out they were carolers
Yeah.
singing Christmas songs. But do you know what?
What?
Since that day, he's been sick.
Yeah.
Like he's been sick
Wow.
for 2 weeks. And I was like, and yesterday I was talking to him and I was like, man, you don't sound any better. And he goes, no. He goes, I don't know what it is. COVID. I don't know what it is. And I said, you've been sick ever since you were exposed to that weird fog. And I said, did it smell like chemicals? Because that's one of the things people were talking about. And he goes, it did smell like chemicals. I didn't really think about it. He goes, but it was the weirdest fog I've ever seen. It was just different than regular fog. And I was like,
That's so weird.
yeah. So I don't know.
Like apparently it's in Boston too.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of different places, and I don't. I don't know. And a couple years ago on the podcast, I think we had pictures of it or a video of it.
Mhm.
It snowed really
snowed.
weird and you couldn't melt the snow. Like Greg was trying to set it on fire and it wouldn't melt. It would just turn black.
It turned black. It was weird.
And we have a little bit of that kind of snow here because some of it looks like little tiny styrofoam balls.
Mhm.
So
What?
we're going to have this conversation when Greg's not here so it doesn't turn into a 3-hour ordeal. But there's something going on. I just don't know what it is.
It was weird.
Fine
But-
here in Arizona. Nothing happens. We're good. I don't have fog. We don't have extreme cold. We don't have snow. It's probably 70 degrees outside right now.
It's 19 degrees here.
67.
It's 19.
That's the high for the week, I think.
Yeah.
That's insane. My mom did say, well, good thing you didn't go right now. Well, no shit. Well, I was right.
We're not planning that trip for right now. So,
Uh,
all right. So we're going to play the Put It to Bed music. And then we have one last thing that we need to talk about. It might be a little bit personal for Holly. So stay
Okay.
tuned. So, Holly, what was the question that you asked us right before we came on? Or what was the statement that you made right before we came on the podcast that you had to check something?
Oh, I had to check my butthole.
Tell us the story.
Whoa.
Before it gets out of hand, I saw your post on X and I was like, what is she talking about?
There she goes. There's the she woke up. The Degen in me woke up. I don't know. It was it right before Christmas? I don't remember.
I don't
but
remember when it
a
started.
long period where I was
Yeah.
just buying more altcoins and holding those and not trading anything on Sol. I was over it. Done. Well, I heard, and I don't even know, I saw somebody post, and I want to say it might have been Stupid Crypto Bully. Can't stand that guy. But I think he said something about his butthole. And I was like, what the hell? So I looked into it, and he was, his post was saying, oh, it's gonna go parabolic because of Fartcoin. And so I was like, let me look at this Fartcoin first of all, because it's the same creators
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
made them both. Fartcoin is sitting at 90 freaking cents, you guys. 90
Really?
cents. And so the
Yeah.
volume is insane. The market cap is insane. Why people are buying this, I don't know. I don't really care at this point. So I was like, okay, well, butthole is sitting at, I think, 0.0003, like 8 or something like that. So I was like, okay, let me throw some in there. What's the worst thing that can happen? I lose my money, whatever. It was money that it was just sitting there anyway. So I threw it in there. This damn thing is up to 9 cents. 9
Holy cow.
cents. And I mean, it got almost to 10 cents earlier, probably like an hour ago.
And you
But
bought
it-
it at 3 zeros?
3 zeros.
Wow.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Now you wish you had put a little bit more money in it, huh?
I always do that. But this time around, I didn't put a lot. I think I put like $100 in Sol. I don't think it was a lot at all. I think it was like 0.5 Sol. I've just been taking money out as it goes up. And I'm pretty pissed because I sold a good portion of it at 3.5 cents.
Oh, wow. At
Mm.
3X after that?
Yeah.
Yes. And
yeah.
so I was like, oh, I'll leave, the rest in here, whatever. Because I already made like crazy profit at 3.5 cents. And so I was like, I mean, if I lose this, no big deal. If it goes down, so I'm just going to leave some in there. And it going crazy. And so I'm like, I'm good with what I have now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave it there. And so they decided to do another coin called Rectum.
You're right.
Same creators as Fartcoin and Butthole. And so I put some in there. My rectum's not doing so hot. So,
You have that checked out?
yeah. But
Wow, that's going to be a clip that we're going to have on our podcast for a while.
Right.
I'm going to go back and edit that
Mhm.
one out and throw that up there at the most inconvenient times.
then I got to post about it, and it's been the funniest thing ever because I say my butthole, and I'm meaning like my butthole tokens, but I don't say that, my butthole tokens. I just say my butthole, and people are like, holy crap, I haven't logged on to Twitter in forever, and this is the first tweet I'm seeing from Holly. So I think people thought I like went a little crazy for the new year. Maybe I did. I don't know. I like my ass coins, apparently.
Wow,
There-
that seems like a really weird note to leave everybody on, but
That's cool.
yeah.
The craziest, it has been crazy the last couple weeks with weird ass meme coins. I
Mhm.
can't figure it out, but I am riding this wave because I'm making money. So I don't shill a whole lot. Now, if you want to look at the fact that I did post about butthole, you should have got in when I started posting about it because it was like at 2 cents at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not that bad, but can it
No.
go to 90 cents? I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
No. So whatever,
Adult to the moon.
coins that I have in here now,
You just letting those ride?
I'm letting them ride because if it could get to, oh my God, 80 cents, 90
Oh,
cents.
yeah.
50 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be excited because who would have freaking thought?
You pay your car off
I know.
on your
Yeah.
$100 investment. Yeah.
On the $100 investment. That would be
That'd be sweet.
To be learned there for sure, though, because it's $100. So you're not like over leveraging yourself, but every once in a while, if one of those hits, that's exciting. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm all here for it. The degenerate in me, you can't take that out, apparently. I thought it was gone. I thought that
We knew it wasn't gone.
no, she was just waiting for the ass coins to come
She
out.
was she was in hibernation.
Yeah.
No,
And then perked right up when
no, that's good. I mean, we saw that run. When was it? Like early November or something like that, where everyone's tokens that we're holding pretty much like 3x'd. And
Yep.
then it's kind of held, I mean, pretty much held at that spot. There's been some dips and it's a little bit on the rise now, but I think 2025 is going to be a good one for all people that have been in crypto for a while, especially. And I think it can be good for anyone, even new investors, but I really think for those that have been in for like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, wow. I mean, we may have some way different things to report on when it comes to, say, June, July of this year of what's happening, what we're doing, all those sort of things, where we're living. I mean, who knows? Maybe Holly will buy a farm in Missouri and she can suffer through the ice storms with us.
yeah, you know what though? I would that would be, gosh, that's like a dream, is to have a farm and then to be in Missouri. It's so pretty there. However, I don't know what I would do with my animals because my animals today, they have heaters, air conditioning. I would need to build some kind of barn that has all that for them. But
Yeah.
they all need to get along so they can all go in there.
That's what
Yeah.
stalls are for.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
That's true.
We'll drive down and pick up your animals for you and bring them back.
We'll trailer them back.
Trailer back, yeah.
Well, they would need it because
Hey, if that little farm down the road that you looked at that you really liked down by Jeff's house comes for sale, I'll be letting you know.
Thank you. Yes, it had everything already.
Yeah, I was ready to go. Actually, every time I drive by it now, because it's on the way to the gym, I always think, I wonder if Holly's ever really going to live there. We'll see. Only time will tell.
That would be crazy, and it would be really, really awesome.
Maybe your butthole can pay for it.
My butthole might pay for it.
Well, guys, I hope that
Wow.
you have a great start to 2025 and Happy New Year to everyone. And we'll see you next week, right? We're going to be back next week.
Yep.
All right. Have a great week. God bless.
Be kind.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.